So this is our last piece of the extinction unit. I want to ask the question, should we revive extinct species? Based on your readings, you know that there are some scientists that are looking into this. And so it begs the question, should this be something that we are doing? And while we're not quite at the point where we can do this easily yet, we are going to get there sometime soon too. This is an example below of a species of frog called a gastric breeding frog. It swallows the egg, and the tadpole is basically raised in the gut of in the stomach of the adult. There were only 2 species of these frogs known on the planet, and they have both gone extinct, but a couple of them were preserved. And scientists working with their DNA were able to clone the embryos, and so it's representing the kind of progress that we're making in terms of being able to do this. But many people question whether or not we should be doing this at all. I want you to take some time to pause this video and think for yourself about what the pros and cons are of bringing back species from extinction. And I want you to, obviously we don't have discussion partners since we're doing this online, but go ahead and get out some scratch paper and a pen or pencil and make a list of the pros and cons. And then I'll show you the list that I have, and we can compare, or you can compare to see like how many of those we share on the same lists. Okay, now that we're back, this is a list of some of the common pros and cons that are mentioned with regard to whether or not we should bring species back from extinction with genetic technology. By far, one of the reasons that's most mentioned is that it's a way of righting a wrong. It's basically a moral argument that we shouldn't have caused the extinction in the first place, so let's help undo the damage. Other popular reasons that people argue is that it helps restore ecosystems. That would be this point here. And simply, there's just a lot of curiosity, interest and curiosity. It would be really cool to see what would happen, if you were to bring back mammoths, for example. And there's also potentially some economic benefits as well. So those are some of the major reasons why people argue to bring back species. However, there are a significant number of reasons to maybe not do that. In some cases, species might be harmful. It might be, and that is true, but I think the strongest reason of all is this one here, which is the cost of bringing back species would be astronomical. It would be a huge amount of money. It is much more logical to use that money today to protect existing species, and in some distant day in the future, bring back other species if we're ever going to go there. So this was for me the most compelling, personally, the most compelling of all the arguments up here. There's some practical arguments as well, such as if we haven't changed the way that we're living on the planet and we're living in ecosystems, then species we bring back, if we're trying to introduce them into the wild, they might just go extinct again. And so what's the point of that? Better to bring them back in a day and age when they would have a place, when we've created a space for them. So this is a very practical reason as well, for me, and also a pretty convincing one. So stay tuned. I am absolutely certain this will be coming up throughout the rest of this century as our technology, our genetics technology improves, and the possibility of bringing back some extinct species when we have good preserved DNA, that's going to be something that humanity is going to be debating a lot at some point this century. I'm convinced of that. All right, that's a wrap.